Welcome back to Into the Pits, where I bravely take on Bailey's questionable music choices.
Shut up!
You shut up. You shut up.
Shut up!
You shut up. You shut up.
You shut up!
You shut up.
Shut up!
You shut up. You shut up.
You
Hey guys, I
shut-
listen to Marilyn Manson. I'm sound metal. Wish me luck, I'll need it.
Shut up!
On this week's episode, I'll be showing my weekend at the Metallica concert, complete with photos and the video version of a podcast. And I'll also be offering some tips for first-time concert goers, which I didn't write on the script. Fuck. We'll also be kicking off our very first metal myth-busting segment of the show. And later, I'll be spinning tracks from Pig Destroyer, Fresh off their Australian tour for the Almighty Wormwood, Acid Bath, and My Dying Bride. But right now, we're kicking things off with some Tool. Sober of the 1992 album Undertow. My name's Riley Pronk, you're listening to The Pit. Cue the music.
Just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you, just enough to bring you down. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something but the past is done? Mother Mary, won't you whisper something but the past is done? Why can't we not be sober? I just want to start this over. Why can't we sleep forever? I just want to start this over. I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. a center in you, I will chew it up and leave. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start things over. Why can't we sleep forever? I just want to start this over.
We've all been drifting worlds apart.
symphonic metal lyrics, 40% mythology, 60% suffering, 100% unreadable on a crowded train. That is Epica, the track The Skeleton Key off the 2021 album Omega. Back in 2002, Epica didn't exist, at least not under that name. The band started out as Sahara Dust, a fresh project for Mark Jansen after he left After Forever. He was looking for a new musical home, a place where he could combine symphonic grandeur with the raw power of metal, all while tackling the big philosophical themes that fascinated him. Those early days were messy and exciting, full of experimentation, late-night rehearsals, and the process of figuring out who they really were as a band. Then came the name change, and with it, a stroke of luck. While recording in the studio, the band noticed that Camelot had an album called Epica. It just clicked. The name felt bold, dramatic, and perfectly suited to the sound and vision they were shaping. They reached out to Camelot to ask permission, and after a little back and forth, Camelot said yes. Sahara Desert became Epica, and just like that, the band's identity started to solidify. While they were still finding the footing with Transmission Records, the band poured their energy into a project that meant more to them than just a release, a full concert DVD. This wasn't just a recording of a show, it was an attempt to capture the raw energy, the early sound, and the spirit of a band just beginning to define itself. But the timing couldn't have been worse. Transmission Records collapsed, leaving the DVD unfinished and unreleased. The footage exists, but the rights remain tied to a label that no longer functions. They gave their souls to that DVD. Transmission Records gave it straight to bankruptcy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Epica took on one of the most ambitious recording projects yet for Omega. Despite travel restrictions and social distancing rules, the band managed to record a full children's choir and collaborate with the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, aiming for a rich cinematic sound that pushed the boundaries of symphonic metal. Coordinating such a massive undertaking under pandemic conditions was no small feat. The orchestra and choir had to follow strict health protocols, and much of the production required remote coordination. Mark Jansen recorded some of his vocals from a home studio, while Simone Simmons works from a nearby facility. The producer meticulously combined all the separate elements, choir, orchestra, band, and vocals, into a seamless cinematic whole. Despite the challenges of distance, health restrictions, and logistical complexity, the album captured a grandeur that might have been impossible in ordinary circumstances. Before that, Tool with Sober off the 1992 debut album Undertow. It's time for a brand new segment I'm calling the Setlist Sessions, where I break down the metal bands I caught live over the weekend. For the very first edition, I'm kicking things off with Metallica at Accor Stadium, with support from Evanescence and Suicidal Tendencies.
I love Evanescence.
We know.
I'm just telling you that.
I know. We know you love Evanescence.
They don't know. They don't know.
Well, I know you love Evanescence.
But are you everyone?
I am everyone. You got a problem with that, bitch?
I'm just saying they don't know that.
Well,
And you say I have very questionable music choices.
Yeah, you think, you claim to be a metalhead, but you listen
Yes,
to
I
Marilyn
am.
Manson. You listen to just shit like Marilyn Manson.
I listen
That's
to-
not
I
that's
li- I
not
li-
very metal now, is it?
I listen to. At least his songs are like short.
What's the one having long songs, huh?
There's nothing wrong. Just I don't know.
Okay, good point. You good?
Yes, I'm just I don't know.
Okay, moving on. God, as part of the ongoing M72 World Tour, the moment we arrived, each merch booth had lines stretching 30 to 40 meters, moving slower than turtles. We had originally planned to grab some merch before the show, but waiting in one of those lines would have taken at least half an hour. And we might have missed the opening act. So we decided to hold off until after the show. I half expected them to start accepting blood sacrifices as payments. Can you imagine that?
Excuse me. Blood sacrifices?
Yeah, I was half expecting blood sacrifices as payments. That's how long the lines were.
Why can't we make blood sacrifices a currency now? Why can't we just do that?
Honestly, it doesn't sound like a bad idea.
You just get a knife, cut your wrist, and then.
Okay.
We're joking. Don't actually.
We're joking. Don't actually do that.
Don't actually do it.
Don't actually do it. That'd be a
Har-
very stupid thing to do.
Harming yourself is bad. We're clearing a fight for all the little kitties.
Yep, we might actually have to censor this bit out.
Yes, we might. We might.
The toilets were also packed, with around 20 people all lined up at the urinals at once. So I held it on for 3 hours. It was all fun and games. Until I realized my kidneys were quietly plotting mutiny. We managed to score some surprisingly decent chicken burgers from one of the food trucks. The same ones notorious for charging $25 for a simple hamburger. After that, my dad and I just wandered around, doing a bit of sightseeing for about 20 minutes, before starting to rush back to our row. Suicidal Tendencies kicked off the night as the first opening act, and holy hell, do they put on one hell of a live show. Mike Muir looked like he was having the time of his life, dancing and running around the stage like a 5-year-old. And keep in mind, he's in his early 60s and still has that kind of energy. You Can't Bring Me Down was a lot slower than I expected, but the energy instantly spiked up with Join the Army, Subliminal, and Psychovision. Honestly, if a crowd really knew the band, there'd be moshing and chaos, but most people just stood firm. There was, however, a tiny Chinese circle pit of about 3 people near the end of the set, and Mike Miller even dove into the crowd. At least some ST fans were near the front, snapping pictures and clearly enjoying the madness. Evanescence was up next, and yeah, honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan. No offense, Billy. They're undeniably a powerful live band, and were at least 10 times louder than Suicidal Tendencies, don't get me wrong. But nothing about their set won me over or changed my mind about their music. Maybe I'm just mentally exhausted from hearing My Immortal and Bring Me Back to Life for years. Or maybe it's the whole new metal era that really gets under my skin. I'm not sure. I'll give him credit though. Amy Lee has one hell of a voice. I honestly can't believe how incredible she is. She still has life after all these years. The band's musicianship has also improved massively. And I'll admit they were one of the new metal era bands that actually used power chords effectively. And while I may have a personal disdain for bringing me back to life, live it's a completely different experience, especially when the crowd started singing along. In that moment, it was genuinely awesome. Metallica finally hit the stage not long after, and the crowd absolutely erupted when the set opened with Creeping Death, my all-time favorite Metallica song. I need to make this quick because it's eating up a lot of our time, but honestly, Cook and Lost didn't fuck up once. They were insanely tight that night, and James was perfect, bursting with energy the whole 2 hours. Highlights of the show included Master of Puppets, with Cook absolutely nailing that solo, and One, where the drums caused what felt like mini earthquakes near the end while the strobe lights went all out. It was a 2-hour masterclass in why Metallica, despite being kinda overrated, is still one of the best live acts, even in their old age. Also, as per usual, Cook and Robert broke into their own impromptu jam session in the middle of the show. This time, they threw in an AC/DC cover, a cheeky nod to AC/DC hitting Australian shores this week. It was a fun surprise for the crowd, giving everyone a chance to see 2 masters just riffing off each other while paying tribute to another legendary rock band. Here are some videos from the concert I took. By the end, my neck was killing me and my ears were completely muffled, but I couldn't have been happier. A solid 10 out of 10. Moving on, gonna get into some grind for you. Pick Destroyer have recently wrapped up their Australian tour with Wormlord, so I'm gonna take it back to 2004 and play Carry On Fairy off their album Terrifier. Cue the music. We truly apologize for the dark joke we made a few seconds ago. Don't actually self-harm. And
Yeah, we're sorry.
we are
We're actually
truly
we're sorry.
sorry.
We're
We
very
didn't
sorry.
mean to get that dark.
Yeah,
And
we're very sorry.
if you know someone who harms himself, please call the National Suicide Prevention Line.
Yes.
You could save a friend's life,
Absolutely.
and that's the most metal thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
got a little serious there for a sec. Because I'm kind of sorry for making fun of you for whipping on your music. You're not actually hurt by that, are you, Billy?
No. No, I'm not.
Good, because I am a nice person. I don't.
Sure, buddy, sure.
Shut up. Anyway, fuck, we're going off script as per usual. Acid bath, guaranteed to make your therapist question their career choices. Cheap vodka of a 1994 debut album, When the Kite Stream Pops. Acid Bath was formed by merging members from two completely different local bands. Golgotha, which included Dax Riggs, Mike Sanchez, and Jimmy Kyle, and Dog Carnival, with Sammy Pierre Dewitt and Audie Petrie. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but R.I.P. And the 1993 demo was called Hymns of a Needle Freak, produced by their manager Keith Felgard, CEO of Walden Records. Walden Records picked them up because the demo sounded unlike anything else in the sludge scene. It was dark, poetic, and had a raw edge that resonated in the underground. According to guitarist Sammy Dewitt, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Some of Acid Bath's eerie atmosphere came from the very land they grew up on. They talk about southern Louisiana's dark history, where they stick the murderers, the rapists, and the mentally ill. It all seeps into the soil. A band that Quellbars shared roots with. They've seen a rise in popularity in recent years, especially with the younger generation, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Acid Bath blended sludge metal, doom metal, death metal, and grunge, and even gothic rock in a way that feels fresh, even today. Their lyrics are also poetic, violent, depressive, and surreal, which resonate with younger audiences grappling with mental health, existential dread, and disillusionment. The sound is also distinctive for its unpredictable shifts, from crushing heaviness to melodic, eerie passages. Although the band broke up after the bassist, Audie Petrie, tragically died in a car accident in 1997, rest in peace, they have performed in 2025 and are now primarily a live-only band. Before that, legendary modern grindcore band Pig Destroyer with Carry On Ferry of the 2004 album Terrifier. Oof, gonna need a drink of water after this. Time for an album of the week breakdown. This week's pick is none other than Obscure by Gorguts. Hailing from Quebec, Canada, Gorguts started off in the early 90s as a more traditional death metal outfit, releasing amazing albums like Considered Dead that fit firmly into the early death metal mold. But by the time Obscure dropped in 1998, they had transformed into something far more complex, dissonant, and boundary-pushing, a record that still sounds like it's from the future. Obscure is a labyrinth of chaos and structure. The moment the opening track starts, the album assaults your ears with fractured riffs, abrupt tempo changes and layers of guitar dissonance that almost feel architectural in their complexity. Luck Lamar's vocals are as piercing and guttural as ever, but it's the interplay of Pierre Saint Jean, I think it's how you pronounce it, and Sylvia Mercox's guitars that really defines the sound. A dizzying mix of atonal leads, all-time riffing, and tremolo-picked spirals that feel both alien and deeply organic. The rhythm section is no less punishing. Eric Giguer, it's a French last name, I can't pronounce it. Drumming and Stephen Tremblay's bass twist and contort beneath the guitars, creating a foundation that's as unsteady as it is precise. Tracks like The Art of Sumber Decay and Obscure exemplify how Gorguts blend technical mastery with outright experimentation. The rhythm section is no less punishing. Eric Googly's fucking French names. Drumming. Crap, long line. They abandon traditional song structures, opting instead for movements that feel almost classical in composition, a nod to avant-garde influences. The dissonance isn't just shock value; it's expressive, conveying tension, unease, and a sheer overwhelming rate that few other death metal albums dare to attempt. Bands like Ulcerate, Deathspell Omega, and Beyond Creation have cited it as a major inspiration, and it's often considered the blueprint for modern experimental extreme metal. Every listen reveals something new, a hidden riff, a subtle polyrhythm, a tone that didn't register before. It's punishing, intricate, and utterly mesmerizing. That was a pretty good segue into some doom and gloom, not gonna lie. This is one of my all-time favorite bands, My Dying Bride. This is the track My Help Be Destroyer of the 2001 album, The Dreadful Hours. You're listening to a pair with Riley Pronk.
believe to be right. Crush with all your might. I laugh at the pitiful cries. They're right from the fire of my eyes. Nothing can save them now. You've learned a lesson in violence. Get on your knees and bow. Or learn a lesson in violence.
This band needs no introduction. You should know them by now, especially if you're a thrash connoisseur. That was Exodus, a lesson in violence off a 1985 album, Bonded by Blood. Oh shit, I just realized I typed a lesson in violence. Try some of the scripts. Fuck. I'm a dumbass. Anyway.
Yes, you are.
You are practically the definition of dumbass.
No.
Yep.
That's you.
That's you.
Okay. It's just you.
Nah, it's just you.
It's both of us.
When I look at, you can look up the definition of dumbass in the Oxford Dictionary.
It's you.
Nope, and it would say Billy Kingston.
And it would say you too.
Nap. We all know I'm the smaller one of the duo.
Sure.
I actually know the value of pi. It's actually
Go
I don't know the value of pi. Fuck.
Go on. Or so you're admitting you're a dumbass.
Yep, yep, you got me for.
Ha ha.
Oh, shut up, small wiener. Anyway, the band is actually all of the mess of you think in the same way that Billy is actually all of the mess of you think. Most people think Exodus formed around 82 to 83 because that's when the scene blew up. Metallica moving to the Bay, Slayer touring up north, Megadeth forming, etc., etc. But Exodus was already writing songs, rehearsing in garages, and I don't know if this sounds weird with my accent, but I'm gonna say anyway. Garages in Richmond, California, and playing local VFW venue holds as early as 1979 to 1980. This puts them older than Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Testament, Forbidden, Death Angel, Violence, and almost every single major US thrash act. The only real peers that early were Motorhead, Venom, and early new wave of British heavy metal bands. When Kirk Hammett, yes, that Kirk Hammett, co-founded Exodus, they weren't playing thrash. The early sound was closer to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Targets of Pantane, and early new wave of British heavy metal rawness. This is why old tape traders describe early Exodus rehearsal tapes as proto-metal rather than thrash. Kirk became the thrash engine once he started incorporating faster picking and heavier influences. One of the rarest pieces of Exodus lore is that they had enough material for a full-length album in 1982, before Paul Bailoff even joined. However, it never happened because they had no money, no label, no credible studio contacts, and the scene was still too small to support a full metal EP from a local band. If the album had been recorded, Exodus could have been the first American thrash metal band to release a studio album, even before Metallica's Kill 'Em All, and would have absolutely been the big four, and could have potentially been the biggest metal band in the world. When Kirk Hammett left in 1983 to join Metallica, after Ron McGovney left Metallica, Exodus essentially had to restart. This caused lineup delays, song rewrites, reshaping of the style, and bringing in Paul Bailoff, which changed the band's entire tone to something more savage and unhinged. Some early riffs Kirk brought to Exodus allegedly became seeds for parts of the Kill 'Em All era, but this is debated heavily. Before that, My Dying Bride with My Hope the Destroyer of the 2001 album, The Dreadful Hours. It's time for our very first Metal Mythbuster segment on the program. The segment where we poke holes in the legends, rumors, and half-drunk backstage stories that have haunted the scene for decades. This week's myth is My Dying Bride recorded an entire alternate version of Turn Loose the Swans in early 1993, then scrapped it. Fans claim that My Dying Bride was secretly recorded a full second version of the seminal album Turn Loose the Swans sometime in early 1993, but for some reason abandoned it entirely in favor of the final version we know today. Sounds tantalizing. Lost songs, heavier growls, doomier riffs, the ultimate unreleased doom metal treasure. Now here's when the story gets tricky. The band did work on early demos and rough studio sessions in late 1992 and early 1993. These sessions were far more death metal influenced than the final release, with Aaron's vocals leaning harder into the growls and the tempo slightly faster. Some riffs and arrangements from these early sessions were eventually rewritten or evolved into what became the final album. But here's the kicker. It wasn't a full album recorded in the traditional sense. It was essentially pre-production and rehearsal recordings. No finished tracks were scrapped wholesale. Nothing from these early sessions exists as a proper, complete alternate album. So here's why the myth spreads. Fans who heard early rehearsal tapes or bootleg demos assumed there was a lost second album. The dramatic stylistic shift between these demos and the final album is stark enough is dark enough that it seems like a completely different record. And Aaron's change in vocal approach from growls to more spoken/clean doom metal vocals added fuel to the story. And I'm sorry, but here's the reality. Early 1993 sessions, partial demo/pre-production recordings, final version of Turn Loose the Swans, fully fleshed, carefully produced album. Entirely scrapped alternate version, debunked. Thank you. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Slave Billy. And yes, I did this all by myself. Pat myself in the back, you.
I don't wanna.
For once in my life, I did something smart. My free brain cells actually worked. What demos exist that show a heavier, more death metal direction? True. In short, there is no lost album, just lost moments of evolution. The myth has its roots in a real, fascinating creative process, but it's been blown way out of proportion. Drumroll, please, Slave?
What?
Drumroll?
About what?
No, drumroll for the final verdict. No, fuck it, I'll do it. Final verdict. Half-truth! Early demos existed, heavier, more death metal direction explored, but now fully re-recorded, scrapped alternate album. Holy fuck, working on this entire script was exhausting. Paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. It's like an even worse math lesson if I'm being completely honest. Except this is useful and math isn't. Huge thanks to Melissa for editing it. She really takes a ton of stress out of my plate. Gonna leave you with a band I absolutely adore with all my heart. One I've spoken about before and whose music I've always admired. Nile! Sacrifice unto Sebek of the 2005 album Annihilation of the Wicked. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate your support, and I'll catch you same time, same place next week. Catch you later.
Bye. Okay, that was terrible.
That was horrible. 0 out of 10. I need to apologize for that joke about blood sacrifices and stuff, and I'm gonna take full accountability to it. It was way too dark, and I
Yeah.
realized it could have been triggering for people with suicidal thoughts and depression and stuff. That's not what being metal is about.
Exactly.
That whole dark jokes thing.
Exactly.
The truest metal thing is having your friends back, standing up for them, and being there when it counts. Loyalty, strength, and looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
That's the real hardcore blood and thunder metal loyalty right firm.
Absolutely.
If your friend if your friend appears to be going through some shit, talk with them. And talk with them. Tell them everything's gonna be okay. Be the best friend you can be. Remember, you're like a pact. And I forgot what I was gonna say. I will leave you on this one word. Penis. Penis and balls. And
Yeah.
Bro just really cut me off when I said
Okay,
two of the
we're
best words in the
very sorry
dictionary.